I gotta say this right now. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, or Mission Impossible 4, whatever you call it. This is going to be the very first ever that this franchise will get a peak rating. So the director who made Ratatouille, The Iron Giant, and last not least, The Incredible movie. Well done, man. Well done indeed. Hello, fellas. What the search? My name is Nick Hicks, do your lounge show, and welcome to my another Mission Impossible review, leading up to one of my most anticipated Bay movie of the year, which is none other than Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Which I am really aware that this movie is going to be peak because, yeah, the review just came and oh my god, it is not looking good for Tom Cruise. So it's bad enough that The Dead Reckoning, it was completely flopped at the box office. At first it was a hit, but not until Barbenheimer came along. So that's why The Dead Reckoning was a little flop at the box office, which I feel sorry for Tom Cruise, because Tom Cruise, he is trying his best to hype this film. But yet again, Rotten Tomato and the critic treating this film like dirty, honestly. Yeah, some people love it, some people hate it, and some people got mixed about it. Yeah, please don't tell me that Mission Impossible: The Final Awakening is going to get Mission Impossible 2 treatment. And if it is, I am not going to be a happy camper if I see another Mission Impossible movie get a bad review. Or else, I'm going to lose my crap if this happens again. So, yeah, Mission Impossible: The Final Awakening, please don't be disappointed, or else you're going to be as bad as much as the sequel back in the 2000s. Yeah, fuck it. Anyway, guys, so today or the afternoon, I'm about to do a movie review to the very first peak Mission Impossible movie, because Mission Impossible 1, 2, and 3 does not count. And yeah, sure, Mission Impossible 1 and 3 are good movies, but not for the freaking sequel. So that's why I am nervous about The Final Awakening, because the review of this film is not looking good. Yeah, because of that, yeah, I won't be seeing this film in theaters. Which, honestly, I'm not even surprised, because I don't see Mission Impossible movie in theaters before. So I guess I'm the only person not going to see this film in theaters, and I'm just going to see Lilo & Stitch instead. Sorry, but I'm just saying because I'm a Disney fanboy. That's all I have to say. Not a Disney show, because I'm not a Disney show. Anyway, guys, so tonight I'm about to do a movie review on the very first peak movie that Mission Impossible deserved, which is other than Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Came out of you of my childhood memories, which is other than 2011. Let's talk about it, shall we? It's review time. So, how do I know about this film before? Doing till I was a little kid back then. Well, let me tell you a story. So, while I was at the Miles Morton theaters, while I was looking at some posters, looking at some upcoming movies, and when I saw the poster of this one right here, that got me attention, and I was like, what the frick is Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol? And that was way back then, and I don't even know who, So yeah, honestly guys, that was way back then. I don't even know what this franchise is, and honestly. And yes, I really aware who is Tom Cruise is, but I didn't even know that Mission Impossible does exist. So that's why back in 2023, that's why I've been rewatching so many Mission Impossible movies leading up to The Dead Reckoning back in last year. Oh crap, it was 2023. Think about. Anyway, so I was very excited to watch this film in theaters, but sadly this film is really PG-13, and I was like, man, I was a teenager when this movie came out. So that's why I was too young to That's why I was too young to see this movie in theaters. And instead, I went to saw some better movies back in 2011. So I would to go back in time and I would to sneak into the screening of the Ghost Protocol because I heard that the fact that this film is director of the animated genre. I am not joking. I am dead freaking serious. So when you scroll down, it say Brad Bird, the director who made three peak movies: Ratatouille, The Iron Giant, and last but not least, Sean PBS favorite movie, The Incredibles trilogy. Are you freaking telling me that the director who made three peak movies, it was two movies that got a box office hit, and the one film that was completely bombed the box office? So are you telling me that the director of The Incredibles was director of the Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol? Now you already know that this film is peak right here. Because it's from the director who brought you The Incredibles. That is amazing. And The Incredibles has got to be one of my favorite movies of 2004. And Ratatouille has got to be one of my favorite animated film of 2007. And The Iron Giant's got to be one of the most underrated films that came out in 1999. And Alec, screw you by making that land of that. And how dare you, you was being happy, how dare you, that you very happy that the fact that the Iron Giant was bombed the box office. That is not happy about it. It causes studio drama, and that is not happy about it. So, Alec, you're a cold-hearted jerk. And that's what the guy said for Futurama. Anyway, let's get back on topic, because every time I think about the Iron Giant, yeah, I was completely mad at Alec because he was completely weighing on this film and saying the animation cheap, you're lazy, you're the box over, you deserve it. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, guys, so let's talk about this film before I get triggered. Anyway, guys, so before I talk about this peak movie, let's talk about a review, shall we? So I'm not really surprised that every single Mission Impossible movie get a mixed review and box office hit and the reward. Let's check it out. Okay, I did not expect that. This film got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critic, and this film, just like every single Mission Impossible movie, this film got a 76% for the audience. But I have to say, the critic is even higher than every single Mission Impossible movie, which is the first film, the second film, and of course the third film on the story. So I gotta say, you already know that this film is going to be peak, because when you saw this rating right here, 94%, which is this peak right here, you already know that you were in a fun, juicy ride. And best of all, this film got a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Okay, it's good enough that this film got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, which, did I wrong? No. Good thing I'm not wrong. Anyway, so, it's good enough that the fact that this film got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critic, and however, this film got a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. So does this film deserve a box office hit? Absolutely, because this film was a box office hit. Mission Impossible: The Ghost Protocol was a major box office success, grossing $694.7 million worldwide, and it was the highest grossing film. It was the highest grossing film in the franchise at the time, and it was released, and the highest grossing film starring Tom Cruise. Up to that point, it was a hit, not a flop. If Sherlock, I already know. Which I already know that we should not be saying that in this lounge. But hey, I was just making a joke, honestly. Honestly, I already know that was a terrible joke, but hey, just come here, strike with ya. And of course, look at the bottom. It was the franchise highest grossing film and Cruise biggest film at the time it was released before being surpassed by Mission Impossible Fallout. Oh my god. Don't let me get started of that film. I will be talking about this film on my movie review. I don't hate it, but I absolutely love it, honestly. And I got a lot to say about it because how freaking dare you that Teen Titans Go movie got released the same day as Mission Impossible Fallout. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about that film. So let's read the box office. 7 years ago, it was a limit release at the 425 location in North America. Okay, that was really terrible. And it was earned $12.8 million over an opening weekend. Alright, which Mission Impossible movie was that? Oh my god. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about in the future. And of course, this film got a reward. Like, no surprise there. No surprise there. Every single Mission Impossible deserves a reward. So I'm just gonna shut my trap and let's check it out some reward. Dun 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 dun. Okay, that's enough. Anyway, so what do I think about Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol or Mission Impossible 4? Wow, I did not respect this. That this film is the very first Mission Impossible movie or peak. That is amazing. The director of The Incredibles, you deserve a Oscars because this film was peak right here. And I gotta say, honestly guys, so even The Muppet is my favorite movie of 2011, which my mind will be changing until I think about this film. So I gotta say, but this film is peak right here. This film was absolutely golden phenomenon, and this film might be in my top 5 favorite film of 2011. And this is the main reason why that 2011 was a glorious year for movies. And yeah, sure, you got your stupid A movie called Hob and the terrible Jack and Jill. Ugh. If I hear another freaking movie out of it, I am going to lose my poop. Especially for that rap song called "What's My Name?" Al Pacino. Everybody say Al Pacino. Let's continue with this Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Also, I'm gonna be triggering of that one part that Al Pacino was singing. Al Pacino, you know better than that. Anyway, guys, so I'm very sorry I'm going off topic, but hey, at least I'm way better than Alex. So Alex go fix yourself. Anyway, guys, so do I have any flaws about this film? I thought this film has some flaws, but best of all the flaws I have for this film is empty like a garbage can. It got flushed down the toilet, and now you got this film all peak of awesomeness. So I am literally thinking that the story is the best concept I ever seen for Mission Impossible movie. And my favorite scene of the film, like you already know, which other than this peak scene right here, which other than Tom Cruise, aka Ethan Hunt, was climbing in the building. And I don't want to know what the building called, because the building called the Pacala Gala, oh my god, that was a terrible name. Oh my god. So let's call it the building, because I'm not even bothered to look at the research, because the research, all very difficult to do, honestly, at this point. So, fuck it. Anyway, guys, so I'm just going to call it building. So, fuck it. If you guys have a problem with it, honestly, guys, you already know the drill. Anyway, guys, so which is better than the scene when Tom Cruise climbing up the building and the Mission Impossible music was playing? Go dun 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 dun. Man, I gotta love that theme song. Yeah. Anyway, so I think the building climbing and the party scene and even the running chase has got to be one of my both favorite scenes I ever seen for Mission Impossible movie, because this film is the very first Mission Impossible movie. It deserves a Oscars, because this film is really glorious, am I right? And of course, the characters are very incredible. Like, once again, Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt. Honestly, once again, fantastic character. A lot better than he was in the sequel. So, even I like him as a sequel, but still, that movie sucks, eh? And of course, you got Jeremy Renner as William. I gotta say, he's a great new character. A very charming and a very, very cool characters. So yeah. And of course you got Simon Pegg. Once again, he's a very great character. He's a very awesome character. And of course, honestly, I really well that his name is Bunyan. You know what? Let's call him Bunyan. So Bunyan, he's a very great character, and I do like his characters. Which honestly, my favorite scene by him, which another than that telling Ethan Hunt that he have that he have to force Ethan Hunt to climb in the building. Honestly, if I'm in the movie, I honestly don't want to do it, because I'm afraid of heights, darn it. And once again, I do love the party scene. The party scene will peak of awesomeness, am I right? So yeah. And the villain in the movie. This is the very first Mission Impossible movie that got a clever and creative villain. Way better than the first one, way better than the second film, and way better than the third film. Because the three Mission Impossible movie that have generic villain, but Ghost Protocol, Rose Nation, Fallout, and The Dead Reckoning Part 1, or Dead Reckoning, whatever call that freaking movie. Honestly, it's not a freaking movie. I mean, I love it. It's underrated, and I care what the box office said. Yeah, box office, go fix yourself. But honestly, I gotta say, but this film, I mean, I gotta say, the villain in the film, it has got to be one of the very first Mission Impossible movie that got peak villain, because the villain is absolutely brutal and absolutely disturbing, I gotta say. And of course, the cinematography was absolutely beautiful, absolutely breathtaking, honestly. And when this film was shot in IMAX, when Tom Cruise was climbing in the building, that has got to be one of my favorite shots of any. Sorry, it has got to be one of my favorite shots of every single Mission Impossible movie, and one of my favorite shots of every single IMAX movie that you ever mentioned. And of course, the climax for Mission Impossible movie. This has got to be one of the most clever climax I have seen for a very long time, because the climax is really dope. So if you want to see the climax, well, I'm just going to show you the pictures, which I just don't feel like show the video of it, or else I'm going to get copyright by Paramount. Paramount, fix yourself. So the climax is go like this. So that's the end of the movie. That is really awesome. And that's how you end of the movie right there. So that is very awesome. And of course, you got a climax of the movie, which that is very amazing. Ending of the film, very amazing. One of the best way to end of the movie. And Brad Bird, great job for this film. I did not respect that this film was directed by the same person who brought you one of the best movie by Pixar, which is another than The Incredibles. Well, which way I say Inside Out 2 was my favorite movie, a Pixar movie, but not until I was thinking about The Incredibles, and I was like, you know what, frick it, I deal with it. The Incredibles are a lot better than Inside Out 2, and that's a fact. So overall, guys, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, this has got to be one of my very first ever that Mission Impossible movie deserve a peak rating, which is right now. So I'm gonna give this peak movie. Okay, you're about to do it. So we're about to give this film. I'm gonna give this Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol a very first ever 10 out of 10. It's a epic, brilliant masterpiece. And Tom Cruise, be happy, man. I'm gonna give this film a seal of Nick Cage Studio Lounge awesomeness. Dun dun dun. And I have to cut that part out because I was saying the D word, which, yeah, you're gonna see that in the deleted scene. That part is gonna be in the dark web. So I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, kiddo, that you have to watch this video when you see me as a foul ranger, guys. But don't worry, you're not going to see that part ever again. So my apology. So, fellas, that was my movie review to one of the very first peak Mission Impossible movie, what's another Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. So tell me about your opinion on this amazing film on the comment section below. You think it's good? Think it's bad? Think it's mediocre? Think it's the best? Think it's the worst? Comment below and let me know. And stay tuned for my movie rant to one of the most overrated horror franchise I ever seen next to The Final Destination. But I'm probably my opinion on the Final Destination will definitely change my mind because actually the Final Destination Bloodline got the review up, and oh my god, it got praising review. It got the highest rating of every single Final Destination that you're ever gonna think of. Upon the main reason why they're gonna give the film a peak rating is because of the fact that we have to give that film respect to Tony Todd family and Tony Todd himself. Yeah, rest in peace to Tony Todd, man. It was very sad that he died by cancers. Yeah, and people, can you do me a favor? Can you please, for the living God, stop using cancer as a criticism? It is so stupid. It makes it so stupid. Christina. Because you're disrespecting Toby Keith, you're disrespecting to the actor that he was in the Elf movie, and you're disrespecting Tony Todd. What the frick is wrong with today's society when you see people is making 9/11 joke and cancel joke? Quit making 9/11 joke, and quit making cancel joke. It makes it so stupid. I'm not trying to be a bully, but that's a fact. So you know better than that. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Which other than yeah, I'm gonna do a movie rant to one of the most overrated horror franchise ever, and yes, yeah, I'm part of this franchise. I'm part of this franchise was so bad and so overrated that the fact that it make me want to play of the Final Destination movie more than Paranormal Activity, which actually it's not saying a lot because I'm not a huge fan of the Final Destination, but let's hope the new film will definitely change my mind. So stay tuned for my movie rant on Paranormal Activities, and after that, stay tuned for my movie review on Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, where once again, another peak movie, another Mission Impossible movie that got peak ratings since Ghost Protocol, which is really awesome, and keep up the great work. And let's hope The Final Awakening will not go back in time and go back to the mediocre Mission Impossible, just like the first film, the third film, and of course the god-awful second film. Yeah, The Final Awakening, please don't be disappointed. Please, 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 please. Anyway, guys. Okay, that was really embarrassing. Anyway, guys, so if you want, honestly, So, if you want to see some honestly, if you want to see a Mission Impossible review more, if you want to see more of this Tom Cruise awesomeness by doing action stunt, please, I highly recommend you hit a subscribe button, turn notification, and share the visual whole family. And why this film did not win for Best Action Actor at the Kids' Choice Award? Really? You're gonna give the actor that he was in the Twilight movie a reward, but not my boy Tom Cruise? This is exactly the main reason why I think Kids' Choice Award Nickelodeon 2012, it has got to be one of the most pieces of crap I ever witnessed in my entire life, and I honestly don't want to think about that. And that is just as bad as much as the 2022 Oscars, darn it. So yeah, and the Kids' Choice Reward Nickelodeon, doing to you're not giving my boy Tom Cruise a reward, and you give it to Taylor Crunch, honestly. The way I didn't say this, don't get finished much. Anyway, so Nickelodeon, doing to you're not giving Tom Cruise a action reward, but yet you want to give the actor of the Twilight movie reward? Freak you. Anyway, guys, so this is Nick Hicks Studio Lounge signing off. So you got Ghost Protocol, but after that, we're gonna be talking about this peak right here, leading up to The Final Awakening. Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise, please don't be disappointed. I'm begging you. Because I swear to God, if this film be as bad as Mission Impossible 2, yeah, I'm just going to say frick this movie. But I don't want to go way too far. And that's a fact.